First, to review the questions 1, 2, and then 4 and 5 and 6. Okay, here we go. Design a questionnaire for collecting data to answer each of the questions. Give 4 possible answers. Okay, sounds good. All right, so first one is, what is the favorite food of grade 6 students? Okay, so we could say, what is your fave food? And then we'd give 4 options. Pizza, tacos, pasta, what else? Shawarma. How do you spell shawarma? S. And then we have to say other. Okay, so there you go. So something kind of along those lines. Okay, so as long as you have done a question that can be interpreted the same way by everybody, there's no leading parts to it, then you get 1 mark. And then this one, 1 mark for 4 options, and then you have to say other. Okay, all right, next one. Okay, so what is the favorite pet of students in your school? Okay, so we could just say, what is your favorite pet? It's so easy. And then just give 4 options and then say a 5th one for other. Next one, who is the favorite athlete of people in your province or territory? Okay, so then we would say, who is your favorite athlete? And then you just write down 4 options and then say other. Okay, so easy, hopefully, for that. Those questions were not really, like, I don't know, they weren't really too hard. Okay, this graph shows the results of a questionnaire. Write what question might have been given. How can you tell how many students were given the questionnaire? Oh, okay, that's a good question. So how can we tell how many students were given the questionnaire? Okay, so we have to a little bit look at this closer. So for the kitchen, okay, so we know that this is 10, right? So we have 11. In the kitchen, we have 14, and then we have 19, and then we have 5, okay? So we just have to add those up. So 25, 44, and then 49. Okay, pretty sure that's right, 49. Okay, so we just added up all of the values. Write 2 things you know from the questionnaire. Okay, well, computers in the home. Okay, so we know that most families, the location of the computer was in the family room. There were only 5 families who did not have a computer. In the kitchen, there were 11 families who had a computer in the kitchen. The second most common spot for a computer was in the bedroom. Okay, cool. That's even a question that, like, I don't know, you could develop a question like that potentially, which, is what we're going to be doing later today. Okay, stay tuned. This is really fun. And I've developed something cool that we're going to do because of e-learning. We're actually super lucky to be able to do this over e-learning. Okay, each question written in italics can be improved. Write a better question for each. Explain why you think it is better. Okay, to discover how much time each person spends doing homework each day. Do you spend a lot of time doing homework each day? Okay, that's a bit of a problem because they said a lot, right? So we should say something like, instead, how much time do you spend on homework each night? Yeah, each day. Okay, so we have to provide options. We can say 0 to maybe 20 minutes. It's your choice. 21 to 40 minutes. C, 41 to 60 minutes. D, we could say 61 minutes to 100 minutes. And then E would be greater than 100 minutes. Okay, so just one little thing. If you are including values, like actual time, it's important to not have the same value overlap twice, right? Like notice here how I started at 21 and then 61 rather than having a 40. Like if this was 40 and the person spends 40, they're like, well, like where am I gonna pick? So technically that's a little bit more accurate to do it that way. Okay, so that's the first one. And then the next one, it doesn't have to be those values, right? Like you could have chosen something different. If you're talking to like a med student, they probably would say 1 to 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours, rather than just in like minute intervals. Okay, that's funny. Speak of the devil, my sister just messaged me saying that she has the one who's studying for an exam right now for school. Oh my goodness, guess this. Get this. My sister has to do this end of like, it's called like a Royal College exam for medical school. And it is a 9-hour exam. Can you imagine? Or maybe it's 6. I'll have to ask her. It's something absurd. And they get breaks and stuff throughout. So anyway, oh, that's crazy. Okay, next one is find out how students get to school. Do you usually walk to school or ride your bike? Okay, the problem with this one is we've only given walk or ride your bike. We haven't given enough options for everyone. So the question could be something like, how do you get to school? Okay. How do you get to school? And then we'd have to provide a few options. Walk, drive, bike, maybe we want to say bus, and then you'd have to have other. Helicopter, horse, I don't know. Okay, next. To find out the favorite type of TV programs, do you prefer watching mindless comedies or exciting dramas? Okay, so again, for this one, I'm not going to write it out, just save a little bit of time. But you would say, which type of TV program do you like watching the most? And then you have to provide a couple of different options. Okay? Good. Okay, next one is number 5. Oh, yeah, number 5. Okay. Ariel wants to find out what the grade 6 students in her school wanted to be when they left school. She wrote down this question. What do you want to be when you leave school? Check 1. Okay. All right. They probably should have had other in there as well, but fine. Ariel gave this question to 76 students in grade 6. 45 people answered the question. Here are the results. Ariel concluded that most students will become astronauts or designers after they leave school. Okay. All right. So, okay, is Ariel's conclusion valid? Okay, now this is tricky. So she concluded that most students will become astronauts or designers when they leave school. Okay, well, she is right that we had the most amount of people as astronauts and designers, so that's true. But the error in this is this word right here, will become. Okay, that is too strong of a word. She could say something like could become, okay, or may become, or might, okay? But to use the word will, like, that's just like here, it was just like what they wanted to be when they left school. Doesn't mean that they will become it, right? So we have to be kind of careful with like the validity of that conclusion. So no should be the answer. Next, what might Ariel have done to improve her question? Okay. What do you want to be when you leave school? Okay. Let's see. What profession would you be interested in studying when you leave school? Could be something like rather than what do you want to be when you leave school? Okay, yeah, that's fine. I guess it's just like an opinion question. But definitely to improve her question, or I guess they could overall say like the questionnaire, there should have been more options, right? Like at least including other, and like these are pretty specific. Like there's a lot of other professions out there that she didn't include. So I'd say that would be a way to improve the survey so that more people have options to respond to something they actually feel like is true to them, because this might not be true to many people. Okay, next. 2 people wanted to open a shoe store at a local mall. They want to know what types of shoes they should stock. How could a questionnaire be helpful? Oh, okay, so that's kind of different. They're asking how could it be helpful. Well, it would be helpful because we gain the insight basically into what different people are interested in and what type of shoes they would be interested in purchasing. Do they want to buy Birkenstocks? Do they want to buy Skechers? Do they really like Adidas? Whatever. So that's going to help them basically decide where they're going to spend their money. Then design a questionnaire that can be helpful for them to make a better decision, to make the best decision. Okay, well, what type of shoes would you be interested in buying? Okay, that could be the question, and then the answers could be like whatever. You can just come up with like at least minimum 4. But a good thing, actually, like what type, you know what? It says here, what type of shoes. Okay, so then I would actually think the options should be something like, rather than saying specific brands, say something like, well, okay, running shoes. Maybe it is like, maybe you want like dress shoes. Like what do the people need more of? Maybe it is, maybe it's like hiking boots. Okay, because it does say type. It doesn't really say like brand, for example, because yeah, like it might be like if I could have this choice here in Qatar, I would say please stock some more running shoes. Like my running shoes that I have here are awful. So anyway, yeah, that could be something that you could think of. And then we also should have another one, and then we should have also other, right? I don't know. You could have like something else here. High heel shoes. Flippers, I don't know, sandals, whatever, slippers. Okay, there you go. That's it.